Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ. And make sure you hit that like button. We are just one win away from home field advantage in the playoffs. We just clinched last episode, and really, we just need to win one out of these next 3 games to clinch that home field advantage, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to sit out the rest of the season if we do win this next game, our starters at least. And I'm going to just kind of let the computer do their thing if we do win against Dallas. But before hopping into the game, well, we have a couple of things to get to. First, let's try to re-sign Darius Slay, but he is not having it at all. We've been trying to re-sign him for the past few weeks, and we keep upping the offer, and he keeps saying no. So we move on to Quandre Diggs. Maybe we can get Quandre Diggs re-signed, because I think that he has been just a crucial part of this defense. We need to kind of keep this defense together, and he's not happy with the offer as well. So we are still negotiating with all of our guys. I mean, we have a ton of guys that have their contracts up after this season. So I want to lock these guys up now before I potentially lose them in free agency. But we are going up against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are struggling this season. Only 3 wins. And really, I mean, they're on their way to the #1 pick, to be honest. And they still do have Dak at quarterback, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Nick Knight, as well as the guy they drafted in the first round of season 1. And then they also have DeAndre Swift, who they drafted last year in the first round. So, I mean, they have a good offense, but just looking at their defense, it doesn't look bad. I mean, they have Jalen Smith still. They still have Byron Jones. Maybe it's the other positions like right outside linebacker, for example. Chris Worley's only 60-something overall. Darius Philon at right end is only 70 overall. But they still do have DeMarcus Lawrence. So maybe it's just that they have talent at spots on the defense. But then, you know, there's some positions, for example, that are just really bad right now. And maybe that's what they're going through. I mean, they kind of had to build it up. And I'm pretty sure they're on their way to a top 5 pick for sure. But I guess we'll see where they end up when this season does end. So we are playing our last, really our last home game here in this franchise, in this season. And Justin Fields, can he close out and secure a playoff spot with the top seed? I guess we'll have to see. So here we are starting out this game with the ball here on a 2nd and 6. Here's Fields buying some time, throwing out to left side, and he had Mecole Hardman open the whole time. Didn't see him until the last minute, and we bring it to a 3rd and 1 this time. Here's Etienne in the game. He gets the end around the jet sweep, and that's going to be about a gain of 1, just short of the sticks. So we do line up to run the ball up the middle. That is Travis Etienne, and he gets the first down on that carry. So we move the ball to about the 20-yard line. Play action fake. Thrown out to the right side. It's going to be caught in the end zone. Marvin Jones is open. That's a beautiful throw on the run. And that's one thing that Justin Fields has improved with, because his throw under pressure has gone up about 4 or 5 points this season. And it's really made a difference, because if you don't have a quarterback that can throw well under pressure, it's definitely tough for you to get rid of the ball, especially when they're sending blitzes. I mean, even when defenders are pretty close and just not in your face, they'll still sense that pressure and throw an incomplete pass. So here is a throw out to the left side. Here is Smith on the left side, and that's going to be a catch, but just short of the first down marker. So we move this one on to the 2nd quarter. Here is Kennedy Brooks getting going with the handoff, and he's getting up the middle for 5 yards. Draw play. Here's Etienne in the game. He's got speed. He does get around Jalen Smith and gets the first down on that carry. So 1st and 10 at about the 39-yard line. This time Fields going to throw the ball deep down the right side, and it's going to be caught by Mecole Hardman, who's playing a lot. And he's kind of taken away some playing time from Tylan Wallace, but I can't deny that speed that he has. He can play on the outside and in the slot. So on a 3rd and 6, there's a throw across the middle, but TJ Hockenson cannot hold on to it. So we are going to have to kick the long field goal with our rookie kicker, Gammon, and he does knock it through, making it a 10-3 game. So we do get the ball back here, under 2 minutes left here in the first half. Here's Etienne getting the carry up the middle, and he will get a gain of 6. So now this clock does wind down. Under 1 minute. Throw across the middle. And it's going to be picked off in the end zone. And wow, we had a tight window to throw to. It's picked off by Will Parks. And that's just a bad throw, a bad mistake on our part as we move into the second half. Still in a 10-3 game. Here is Swift on the carry here to start the third quarter. He's going to barely fight forward and fall down for the first down. So now at about the 14-yard line, handoff to the left side. He breaks a tackle in the backfield, spins away, and he will break to the outside. That is a touchdown by DeAndre Swift. And he gets in, and it's 10-10, just like that. And we thought this would be an easier game playing against a bad team, but it's been close as we move into the fourth quarter. Here is Fields with the throw out to the left side on 3rd and 11, and that's going to be a nice 14-yard gain to Golladay. We have a lot of weapons now with everybody that is healthy. So here is Etienne on the draw play. He gets 15 yards. He's got a lot of speed. He's got 84 yards rushing, and that's a first down. So at the 20-yard line, this time giving it right back to him. He's going to break to the outside and get around the edge, and he does break free, getting tackled by Smith at about the 1-yard line, and that run puts him over 100 yards on the day. So now 2nd and goal, 5 wide out there. From the 2, throw across the middle. It's Hockenson. He gets open for the touchdown in the back of the end zone. Can't cover everybody with 5 wide, spreading it out. We could have ran a draw there too, as now we take the 7-point lead. 6 minutes to go. So here is Dak back out on the field. Throw to the right side. On the first play of the next drive, it's intercepted. Quandre Diggs, who we are trying to lock up, takes it all the way for the touchdown, his 5th of the year, and this is a reason why. He's dynamic. He can play in coverage. He can tackle well, and really, I got to say, from season 1 to season 4, he's definitely improved. Remember, he was an all-pro last season, and now it's looking like he might do it again here in season 4. So now the Cowboys do get the ball back on the next drive. Throw across the middle. It's picked off again. Chris Harris Jr., and that one will seal this up as we lock up home field advantage. But take a look at this play. Dak may have missed the first down by his tight end going across the field, but yet it's an interception as we go on to win this game with, 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and we end up beating them 31-10. Justin Fields, 3 touchdown passes and an interception. Not a lot of passing yards, but Swift and Etienne both go over 100 yards. Kennedy Brooks goes for 62. And, man, I got to say, we're doing a pretty good job running the ball, and it's definitely making our passing game more efficient because, look, we're not even putting up big numbers passing the ball, but really our running attack has been carrying us, and so is our defense, as we do force three interceptions, one by big play Slay, which I didn't get, and then Chris Harris and also Quandre Diggs. So we decide to upgrade our coach. Now that we have secured that playoff spot, let's upgrade our cornerback retention and see if we can re-sign Slay after this game, because I need to lock these guys up. I can't let this defense break apart even after this season, no matter what the result is. And he still won't accept it. We up the offer and everything, even with the XP upgrade. So then we try Quandre Diggs. Now, he's more likely to sign, but he's looking for a 4-year, $27 million deal. But we gave him the salary, but he just does not like the bonus or the length. We just might have to give these guys what they want. So now Marvin Jones. Can we lock him up to at least a 1-year deal? I don't know if I want him for 2 more years because I don't know what our situation is going to look like. And he doesn't like it either. I mean, everybody is going to want to get paid, especially with all the success we are having. And wow, I mean, it's going to be hard to retain all these guys if they keep denying these contract offers. I don't even feel like I'm lowballing them at all. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm lowballing them? I don't think so. So we do have quite a few upgrades as we do move into the last 2 games of the season. I'm going to sit our starters, like I said in the beginning of the video. Justin Fields will not play. It's going to be Anthony Ying. I'm going to sit some of the receivers. Also, I'm probably going to sit Kennedy Brooks because he's really our starter going into the playoffs at running back. He's been reliable. And then Travis Etienne is probably going to sit as well. He'll probably get a little bit of playing time, but I do want to make sure that I get some fresh legs out there as well. Some guys on defense will also sit. But we are going through some upgrades here. And look at D'Angelo Boone. In his rookie season, he has gone up to an 81 overall with the morale boost and everything. The number 15 ranked right guard. And it's just so funny to have a right guard who's really good at pass blocking. And he just needs to improve that run blocking, as we'll get that up as time goes on. Javier Soriano, who we drafted in the 4th round of Season 1, he's actually up to 77 overall. I still like him at right tackle. I think our offensive line is definitely a strength on this team. Vincent McLeod, who we drafted last season, and he's actually a guy that's going to be pretty much groomed to be the next cornerback up, and I kind of want to have another year to develop him. He's still only 21, so we'll see how it goes with developing him in the future. But let's just talk about the playoffs. So the GM does give us a boost in morale, plus 20 for the entire team as we go up against the Vikings and the Packers to end the season. As remember, we're going to play with Anthony Ying at quarterback, and he is going to be the starter as he's been the backup this entire season. He's at 67 overall. It's pretty funny to see. He was at 58 when we first started this series and got him. So we end up losing the first game to Minnesota. So we lose 3 games on the season. It's not going to hurt our playoff home field advantage at all. Doesn't really matter these last 2 games, as he does throw for 300 yards and a touchdown. And ETN does get some playing time. Kalen Ballage runs for a touchdown as well. And then Mecole Hardman goes over 100 yards and a touchdown, as I don't know what Hockenson's doing in there. I'm pretty sure I pulled him, but he still got in the game somehow. Trevor Lawrence threw 3 touchdowns and even 3 interceptions. I don't know how they won this game with 3 turnovers, as Tracy Walker had 2 interceptions in this one, and Justin Coleman had 1. So then we move into the next game, and we end up dropping that one as well. Not surprised, because obviously our backup quarterback's in, but we dropped this one by 2 scores, as Anthony Ying throws 2 interceptions this time, but does throw 2 touchdowns as well. And really, I don't really care about the last 2 games. I want to give our guys some rest and make sure nobody gets hurt. That's the main thing. Just want to make sure these guys don't get shaken up. Mecole Hardman has a huge game, though. 12 receptions, 171 yards, and a touchdown. Wow. The biggest receiving game of the year. So let's just recap this season and just look at the totals here. Justin Fields, 24 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 3,100 yards. Definitely not a bad season at all for his rookie year. It's just going to go up from here. Kennedy Brooks, because of all the injuries, ends up being our leading rusher with 691 and 5 touchdowns. Justin Fields runs for 7 himself, so he had a good season running the ball as well. Kalen Ballage stepped up as that free agent signing. He runs for 313 and 2 touchdowns, and then Kerryon Johnson's season was cut short after a few games. And quite honestly, I don't know if he'll be back, because if he's just going to get hurt and we have the running back depth like we do, I don't know if it's worth it to keep him. I might just trade him. You never know. Hockenson leads our team in receiving. He's always been 2nd or 3rd. He finally leads our team in receiving because of all the injuries. Mecole Hardman ends up being 2nd in receiving just because of that huge breakout game he just had. He ends up getting 6 touchdowns as well. Marvin Jones had the biggest step back, as he was injured for 4 or 5 games this season, so that definitely hurt his totals, as he only gets about 300 yards receiving. And then just looking at the rest of our roster, we do still have some interesting pieces like Isaac Nauta, who is kind of aging, and maybe not aging, but he's been on our roster for about 3 or 4 years now, and he's been kind of in the shadows a little bit. So I want to see what I can get from some of these pass catching guys or some of these depth receivers that we may not necessarily need, because if they provide a bunch of value and we're not able to resign some veterans, I think it might be smart to deal a guy like, say, Jesse James, for example, who I've been talking about dealing, but we just haven't found the right deal. And he's in his mid-20s still. I think he's 27, I believe, and I think we can get some good value out of him. He's 80 overall himself. So looking at our defense, we had a really good season. Samson got 4 sacks, which he actually came around towards the end of the year, started having some sack production. Sean Chapman didn't do too bad at defensive tackle, to be honest. I thought he was going to have a bigger year, but I don't mind the season that he had. I wasn't expecting huge numbers, but I'm definitely going to be looking for defensive tackle in next year's draft. Trey Flowers, back-to-back double-digit sack seasons for him. Ebukam does get 4 sacks. Romeo Okwara gets 4. Bilal Nichols, who we signed in free agency, he gets 3. Jared Davis gets 2. Honestly, a pretty good season from our whole defense. I mean, we were stacked as far as depth goes, and it really helped out, especially at cornerback. I mean, cornerbacks, we didn't really have any injuries as well, so these guys were healthy all season, and I guess that speaks to maybe, we don't really need to sign both corners back, because remember, we have Chris Harris and then Darius Slay, who I want to sign Slay over Harris just because he is the veteran and the longest tenure lion, and I think that, like I said, I do have McLeod. I also have Tim Jackson too. Watch out for Tim Jackson. And then I have Justin Coleman still, who I think actually is due for a re-signing as well. So Jelani Tavai does lead the team in tackles for loss. Trey Flowers and Sean Chapman actually get 11. Good to see Chapman there. That's what I'm saying. I think he had a really good season. He had made a lot of stops behind the line. So let's look around the NFL now. Baker Mayfield does lead the NFL in touchdown passes with 42 and 6 interceptions, as they do have at least tied with the best record in the NFL with us. They go 12-4 as well. Jordan Love. I want to take a look at Jordan Love because that was a guy that I was actually going to draft 2 seasons ago when I was debating drafting Tua and all those guys. I thought about Jordan Love. I was going to take him in the 4th round. He ended up getting selected in the 3rd. And look at him. He's leading the Colts to 2 straight playoff appearances. Trevor Lawrence is now at 88 overall, 34 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's a superstar X Factor, and he is really doing well in his rookie season. Who knows? We'll see, I guess, who will take the Rookie of the Year. It's probably going to be between Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. Aaron Rodgers. Now, this is one thing I think that Madden does have to fix. There's no way that he's 74 overall at age 39. He's going to be age 39 or whatever, but I mean, to be the 32nd ranked quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, there's no way. If Tom Brady is still top 5 at age 41, no way is Rodgers going to be that low at age 39. So looking at the rushing totals here, Elliott does lead the NFL for the 2nd straight year with the Redskins, as he does topple 1,300 yards. D.D. Westbrook leads the NFL in receiving. That's actually surprising. He gets 10 touchdowns as well. Michael Thomas has 14 touchdowns. Julio Jones has 1,200 yards. N'Keal Harry, who is Tua's top target, he goes over 1,000 yards. It looks like he's next up to be one of the best receivers in the NFL. He has pretty good attributes there. Richard Weiss, who is the slot receiver in Green Bay, he has 16 touchdowns. That's pretty good. Then you always see a guy that you're surprised to see with 1,000 yards that usually has a good season. It's usually Cole Beasley and Adam Humphries. This year it was Deshaun Hamilton. He goes over 1,000 yards. So let's look at the NFL MVP. It's looking like it's going to be Baker Mayfield, and Freddie Kitchens is going to win Coach of the Year over Matt Patricia. And probably the reason is because we dropped those last 2 games. Otherwise, Matt Patricia probably would have won that award. Defensive Player of the Year in the NFC is going to end up being Bobby Wagner for the Seattle Seahawks. And then Trevor Lawrence looks like he is going to win it over Justin Fields. So that's kind of a bummer there, as we didn't really have any defensive rookies to really compete. Trevor Lawrence wins the best quarterback in the NFC. That is very, very surprising there, as it's going to be, like I said, a good rivalry for years to come to see the Vikings and the Lions now being atop of the division, unless the Packers and the Bears do get a quarterback to really build around. So let's look at the standings here to end this season. The Browns win the AFC North. The Titans go 11-5, and the Colts go 10-6 as they both make the playoffs. This is not the real-life Dolphins. The 11-5 Harvey Myrick-led Dolphins are in the playoffs as they do take the AFC East post-Tom Brady, as Tua needs to step it up a little bit. In the AFC West, the Raiders take that division. So going over to the NFC, like I said, the Vikings make the playoffs at 9-7. They barely squeak in, and obviously that win over us late in the season definitely made the difference. The Panthers steal the NFC South. The Redskins win the NFC North at 9-7, NFC East at 9-7, and then the NFC West is won by the 49ers at 10-6. Even the Seahawks made it at 8-6-2, 2 ties. So let's look at the first round playoff matchups in the wild card game. Titans, Chiefs, Seahawks, 49ers, Colts, Raiders, and Vikings, Redskins. I'm guessing we will play I guess we'll play the lowest seed, so I guess we'll have to see. And it ends up being the Seattle Seahawks who do end up winning that game. And wow, they upset the number one, at least wild card seed. And now we will be at home versus the Seahawks. Russell Wilson is still the quarterback, so this is going to be a good one. You don't want to miss next episode where we return to the playoffs. Hit subscribe, hit that like button, stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I've been working hard for a minute. The ones who don't deserve it seem to be the ones that get it. The ones who speak the truth never get the recognition, but the ones that act foolish seem to get all the attention. It don't matter though, yeah. It don't even matter though, no.